to our lovely audience. Big salute to you guys too. And let's shout out the top gifters from our last episode. So let's get into it. Also, yeah. So our last gifters from our last episode. You see her name right here. She goes by Jor. I think that's how you say it. Jor. She took Brit. Brit's been on here for 3 consecutive rows, but Jor, she was our number 1 gifter. Number 2, right there behind her, we got the lovely Brit. Always a pleasure. And at the number 3 spot, we have Free Soul 76. At the number 4 spot, we have yours truly, Josh. And at the number 5 spot, we have Blessings. So big shout out to you guys. Can we give a nice little round of applause for our top gifters from our last episode? Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all. And don't worry, that's not the only time to be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag, because midway into the show, the number 1 gifter will be featured right there. So don't miss your chance to be featured throughout the whole show. I'll be you. And sorry, guys, I got a little bit of furniture right here. Yeah, I try to help a little old lady, and I have to pay the consequences. So your boy Dorian is going to be in this thing for a couple of months, but it's okay. It feels better than it looks, but that's not going to stop the show. We're going to keep the ball rolling. We got an amazing show in store for you guys today. We have a beautiful bachelorette. She's an awesome person. She's been featured on the show before. So if we can have her request the box. And so what you guys are tuning into, this is Rate the Date. I'm your lovely host. We're going to have a bachelorette come in here. We're going to have 3 contestants that are going to compete to win said bachelor over. She's going to eliminate 2 of these guys. She's going to pick her Prince Charming. They're going to ride off into the sunset, and they're going to tune back in next Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern time and give us a bit of an update. Speaking of updates, we have Mick Bonus on our last episode. He chose somebody, and so we're going to see how things have been going, getting to know each other for them. And thank you, by the way, guys. While you guys are going to be gifting, I'm going to be giving y'all some sign language as best I can with my furniture, my accessory that I got over here. But my admins are going to be the voice of me, and they're going to be showing all the love. If you guys have any questions, they're going to be sending that my way. So without further ado, let's get our lovely bachelorette in here.
Hi.
How we doing, sweetheart?
Good. How are you?
We're doing fantastic. All right, so you see the name XOXO Mama. So, Mama, I got some random facts about you in case the boys and girls don't know. Let me fill them in. It says here, she is an advocate for children who are classified as special needs. So already touching my heart personally. Tell us a little bit about how you got into that and what you do specifically in the field.
So I'm actually a nurse in the medical field, but I have 2 children with special needs, one who is deaf and one who has autism. So I've been doing it for a little while, a little over 12 years. And I advocate in my state for both disabilities for children and adults.
Wow, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I could definitely tell. And I've had you on the show before, and you definitely have that warm spirit to you. For your second factor, it says she is a mother of 2 little girls who are her world. So those 2 little girls were the ones that you were talking about, correct?
Yep, 7 and 12.
That is awesome. And it says here for your last random fact, she is a country girl with a big heart who's looking for someone to love.
Correct.
What makes you a country girl? Like know your way around?
So I'm from South Carolina. You can't hear it right now because I'm got a little bit of a hoarse throat, but I like, just the simple things. I love horses. I go dirt biking. I've been 4-wheeling in the mud, so I'm country.
Well, that's okay. I'm not too far from you. I'm over here in Texas myself, so I can appreciate a cowgirl when I see one. All right, so we got 3 awesome contestants on today's show. Are you ready to meet these contestants?
I'm a little nervous, but I'm ready.
Let's do it. If I could have our contestants, please request the box. We got you guys ready to rock and roll. I think we got Bobby, we got Diesel, and we got KOZ, or KOs is what he goes by. Dun 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 dun. Okay, KO. All right, so KO, what's up, Diesel?
What's going on, baby? How you doing today?
Good.
What's happening, Jason?
We're doing fantastic. Just looking for Bobby
What's
right
going
now.
on, brother?
As we wait on Bobby, let's get to know our contestants here. So starting off with KO. KO, I have some random facts about you. It says
Pretty random.
he is a metaphysician, the world's first and only nose reader. Well,
Yeah, I know, right? I know that it comes as a shock. It's okay. So I actually created a methodology in which I'm able to break down a person through the nose. And I won't go too in detail because I don't have that much time. But but it's been something I've been able to use and really discover a lot from. So yeah, and I'm also just in the spiritualist in general. So yeah,
well, I
yeah.
hope you're able to bridge the gap between you and about Barrett
I glad,
today.
I'm glad you used that. I'm glad you used that.
All right, it says here for your second fact, you're an entertainer and an artist extraordinaire. What type of entertainment are you getting into?
So I do a little bit of everything. I started off doing drawing, illustration, got into dancing, pretty much doing music later on. Then eventually started hosting rap battles and different things throughout college and just over like the course of time, we started our own like entertainment company and figured I would bring it to this platform and just show the world what I got.
Well, definitely, definitely. These people stream, and so does our bachelorette. So feel free, chat to please hit them with a favorite. It says here for your last fact, he is great at giving financial and life advice to anyone willing to listen. Is this true?
I do my best. I think everything is correlated in currency, and currency is based on how people move, right? So as long as you know how people move and how you move, then you know how commerce works. And so you can see the final, like the financial nuances as well as like the personal nuances that make you buy things, make you want to trade or FOMO or do these other things. So yeah,
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing. All right, jumping over to Diesel. Diesel, how are you?
Pretty good. What's going on, my guy?
And the name is very fitting. You got like this modern day Ice Cube look to you. All right, Diesel. It says here, the man loves
oh,
fishing and being outdoors. Oh,
Yes.
how? So, is this something that the Bachelorette might be able to get to know if you're picked on today's show?
Hey, I mean, if you like the outdoors, you want to experiment, you like exploring, learning new things, of course.
Awesome.
Willing to
I
show
got the
teach
shades on, man.
anything.
I got the shades.
And
Shit, we can do that.
Bobby, you can also request a box. All right, it says here for your second fact, Diesel, he is a veteran who served 4 years in the Army branch for the military. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you
Yes,
for your
sir.
service.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So I hope maybe the Bachelorette likes someone who can protect and serve her. Hopefully that works out. It says here he is a father who has full custody of his children, which makes him a very devout father. Wow, got it. You got the Kevin. You got the Kevin
Yes,
Federline
sir.
thing going on. Kudos to you.
Hey
Hey,
man,
it took me 2 years to win custody of them, but it was a long, drawn out battle that a father
right.
actually won. So it was tough.
Well, that's great, and kudos to you. It looks like you're getting some bonus points from our chat here, and our Bachelorette does have
Appreciate
kids, so
it.
maybe that struck a chord with her also. All right, enough about
Right.
that. Mommy, mama, whatever. You got them questions lined up that I asked you to write down for the contestants for today.
I do.
Okay, as we wait for Bobby to request a box, let's just get straight into the questions. Let's start off with XO being contestant number one, and we'll have Diesel be contestant number two. And speaking of the devil, I think we have Bobby who had maybe cold feet. Bobby, how we doing?
No cold feet. I've been trying to get in. I got kicked out 3 times. I'm sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Well, you're in. Bobby, we have enough for 2 random facts about you, so let's make it quick.
Yes.
He will eat anything as long as it's in a wrap.
Rap. That's me. Hello. Yep. Anything in a wrap. That's my favorite thing to eat.
That's awesome. And it says here,
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything in a wrap.
all right, so I'm sure there's a lot of puns we could throw in there, but let's get into it. We have an adopted cat named Whoopi Goldberg and a dog named Michael Phelps. So no.
I adopted a cat to Whoopi Goldberg personally, and I adopted a dog to Michael Phelps. The dog to Michael Phelps was Penelope. The cat to Whoopi Goldberg was Verrazano.
Whoa, he's like the Dr. Doolittle for celebrities. My God.
Right.
Well, that is awesome. All right, so we'll have Bobby be contestant number 3. So let's get into the first question going out to KO. What question do you have lined up for him?
All right, KO. First question. What do you prioritize more, relationships or careers?
I feel like they go hand in hand, right? Like if I see you as a partner of mine, I would want to invest in my time with something that I would want to build a business out of. So, for example, if you do horse ranching, right? Well, you herd horses. Well, if we can discover how that can work into my branding or my business, then we can market that to a plethora of people. So that builds the relationship, that builds the rapport. We can relate on something, and that way we can go to a partnership in something. Now you need that.
Well, he is paying attention to what you're saying, Mama, and working it into. I could see his analytical brain as he answers these questions. All right, moving it over to Diesel. What question do we have lined up for contestant number 2?
All right. So, what words of advice would you offer to your younger self?
What words of advice would I offer to my younger self?
Yeah.
Keep doing exactly what you're doing because in the long run, it pays off.
That's awesome. So, yeah, it sounds like a man who's very content with his life decisions. That's always
Indeed.
something to look out for. And what about Bobby? What do we have lined up for Bobby?
What makes you jealous?
Oh, what makes me jealous? First and foremost, not really too many things make me jealous. I kind of ride my own wave in life and frequency. So if your frequency's out of there, instead of me being jealous, I kind of want to match it, get to know it, and adapt to it. If it makes me jealous, I want to adapt to it and get to see how I can be like that. You know, not too many things can make me jealous. In relationships, I'm not jealous. Life, I'm not jealous. Each one teach one, and that's a standard I live by. Each one teach one. You know,
Yeah,
you can learn something about a person doing better than you.
Yeah,
I take advice from people more successful.
Yeah, pretty much just an East Coast way of saying whatever makes him uncomfortable. He wants to figure out why that makes him uncomfortable. He wants
and eliminate it.
Yeah, awesome. Bringing it back over to contestant number 1. What question do you have lined up for him?
What makes you unique?
I think that there's no box, so therefore I don't live in one. And therefore I can't be defined by one. So I'm always unique.
Yeah, and also he has 10,000 hours of studying nostrils, so that's also. All right. Moving over to Diesel. What question do you have lined up for Diesel?
What is the biggest boundary you have in relationships?
Honestly, I don't really believe in too many boundaries, you know what I mean? I just feel like everybody knows what they can and what they cannot do when it comes to a relationship, and it's just give each other 100% of yourself, not 50%, because if you give each other 50%, you're still leaving 50% out there. So go 100 and don't leave nothing behind.
Yeah, I kind of dig that, D. So it's like, hey, if a person, I have to be setting boundaries for somebody, then that's probably not the person for me. All right, moving over to Bob. What question do you have lined up for Bob?
What's the one thing that you can't live without?
The one thing I can't live without, honestly, I'll be quite honest, is music. Music has been my savior. I've been in the darkest places of life, and the thing that seemed to help me ease out of it was music. You know, music, I can't live without music. If you visit my stream, 95% of the time I got music playing, and I'll speak to you over the music, you know. I empathize with music, I sympathize with music, I live through music, I promote message through music. I promote love through music and food, but music is my savior.
Oh man, well the man's passionate about his music. All right, bringing it over to KO for his third question. What do you have lined up for him?
What does your ideal partner look like?
Wow. somebody who actually takes time to consider myself and themselves, and they don't really have to have a look. As long as they ain't like lose, like letting themselves go in a way where they're just crashing out emotionally, energetically, mentally, all of that shit. Like, I don't need it.
Yeah, the first part of your response for that scared me a little bit. He's like basically somebody who takes the time to like I was like, hold on, is this? But no, I completely understood what you're coming at. All right, good, good way of definitely catching yourself for sure. All right, moving over to Diesel. What question do you have lined up for Diesel?
Who do you go to for relationship advice?
Oh man, rest her soul, my grandmother. She was my mom. She was my grandmother, my queen, my heart, my savior, my lawyer, everything. You know what I mean? November 14th marked the year that she's been gone now, but that was my everything right there. Anything that I ever wanted to know, whether it was from life to cooking to anything, she was what I went to for absolutely everything.
Yeah, well, definitely rest in peace, Diesel's grandmother. I am my grandma's favorite grandson. Just ask my grandma. Enough about that. I hate my life. All right, moving it over to Bobby for his final question, or his third question. Actually, I think the boys got one more question after this.
What are you most passionate about?
I'm most passionate about forming bonds with people, with new people. And that's before I met the stream life. I'm always passionate about forming bonds with people and letting people see that I could treat them like family without them being that.
Wow. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. I didn't expect that, Bobby. I thought you were going to say, didn't you just hear me go on that whole riff about music?
Right.
All right. Now, okay, is the last question of the first round. Going out to KO. So definitely make these last questions count.
What do you consider your greatest weakness?
Letting everybody in.
Letting everybody in?
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like you show them the Carfax too much?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I understand that. It has its pros and its cons. Some people it works for, but I understand how it can repel some people. All right, bringing it over to Diesel for his final question. What you got lined up for him?
What is the best thing about your life at this moment?
Oh man, being a father to my two children. You know what I mean? I got two boys, 6 and 11. That right there is such a wonderful thing. I mean, I worked so hard to get where I'm at right now. Nothing else can overpower that at this time.
Yeah, and Diesel's kind of just warming up as the show's going on. He's getting better and better.
Hey, let's get it.
He's getting more
Let's get it.
All right, now the final question going out to Bobby, but before we get into that question, let me just tell the chat exactly what they're tuning into. This is Rate the Date, the #1 dating show on the app. I'm your lovely host, Dorian Gray, and we have the lovely Mama as our bachelorette today, and definitely liking her background. We have these 3 awesome contestants that are flying through these questions. We have one more question for the first round, then unfortunately somebody's going to get eliminated. But that's okay. Even the eliminated contestants, we hook them up. They don't call me Dory. Anybody can get a date for no reason. We'll go into round number 2. We'll double up the questions. Then she'll make her final pick. Her and that person will get to know each other off of the platform, on the Book of Face, the Snap of all chats, the Gram of all Instas. I don't know what they're calling it these days. And then they'll tune back in next Friday at 11 p.m. and they'll give us a bit of an update. All right, back to you, Mama. You got that last question lined up for Bobby. What you gonna hit him with?
What is an aspect of dating that you hate the most?
An aspect of dating I hate the most is honestly the honeymoon phase. You know, the getting to know each other. Like that's the most part. That's the most concerning for me. You're getting to know each other and the newlywed scene. You know, that's the most complicated for me.
Yeah, sometimes people enjoy that though, Bobby. But speaking of KO's point, like, yeah, sometimes you're like, yeah, I get it. You're pretty. We're having a good time. It's been, a couple of weeks now. Tell me what's gonna annoy me.
Right. Show me what's gonna annoy me.
All right. So unfortunately that ends the last round, but you guys give great. Can we just give a round of applause to the boys? They look easy. All All right, XO. What's going to happen now is rather than eliminating the person that you don't want to stick around, how about we start off with picking the people that you do want to stick around? So starting off with the first person that you want moving into round number 2, and give us a reason why. So XO, who is going to be our first contestant moving into round number 2?
The first one's gonna have to be Diesel because we connected about having kids and being single parents. So that's something I'm very passionate about. And most people you date that don't have children don't really understand that. So I'm gonna go with Diesel.
Diesel, you made it look easy, and that what makes you move into round number 2. You both connected on the parenting tip. Okay, here's where things get a little bit more difficult. Now pick the last person that you want to move into round number 2 and give us a reason why. Can I get a drum roll, please, chat?
So I'm gonna have to go with Bobby because I'm very passionate about music, and that was one of the things that he spoke about.
Yeah, he said it about 17 times. I counted.
And I stream music on my screen all the time. Like on Saturdays, I do a game night. So we always play music. We play musical trivia. So that's something I'm very passionate about.
Well, that is awesome. Congratulations to you, Bobby. But unfortunately,
KO.
And he said he was an artist. Maybe you should have played or something or whatever. But KO, it was awesome having you. I would love to bring you back on maybe season 5, and we'll see if we can hook you up with some ladies.
We'll see. All right, have a good one.
All right, thank you so much, KO. All right, and then number 2. Well, congratulations, gentlemen, and you guys have made it into round number 2. But how about we flip the table just a little bit and turn them on our bachelor? Bobby and Diesel, how about you guys come up with a question that y'all want to know a little bit more about the bachelorette? Maybe what she does for fun, what type of date she would want to go on, maybe a relationship deal breaker you guys want to paw at. So starting off with Bobby, you're going to be contestant number 1, and we'll have Diesel this time be contestant number 2. Bobby, what question do you have lined up for Mama?
What's an automatic no for you in a first date, after that first date?
If you don't continue with open communication, that's a deal breaker for me. You have to have open communication because no relationship can survive no matter how far apart you are without communication.
I agree with that. Yep. And I will touch on that just a little bit more, Mama, and what is your communication style? Like if you had some type of obstacle verbally with one of the guys or you didn't like something, how would you navigate that through conversation?
So I love to talk on the phone, more sometimes video than just ear to ear, especially if there's a distance in between you guys. And I like to talk through problems. I don't like to just sweep them under the rug because I feel like if you sweep them under the rug, they're going to come right back up. And then you have, well, this is why, and then you got people throwing stuff in each other's faces, and I don't do that.
Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely. Well, Bobby, based on his background, he might need some space every now and then, but I think I'm just joking. All right, and what about you, Diesel? What would you like to know about our lovely bachelorette?
What would you say your definition of success is?
Oh, that's a hard one.
How do you define success?
As long as I'm doing what I need to do for my kids and I'm taking care of them to my full respected mom position that I have. And I'm happy where I'm at with my job and career. I feel like that I've succeeded pretty much to the most I could. But there's also the option of I can always grow. I'm never stopped at one level. Like I'm still looking to finish a career up above with the career I am now in the medical field. So I always have goals that I want to obtain, and it doesn't stop, and I can always grow in different areas.
Okay,
well, that is awesome. I love getting to know you a little bit more, XO. Okay, but bringing the show back over to you, we got another round. We're doubling up the questions this time. We got Bobby as contestant number 1 and Diesel as contestant number 2. Let's get into it. What question do you have lined up for Bobby?
Are you happy with the person that you have developed into? If not, what is the one change that you need to make?
As of right now in my complete life, going on 35 years of age. I'm 95% happy with my life in this current course. The one thing I need to work on is my tardiness. I'm late to everything.
Well, oh yeah,
I'm
even
late
to the show.
except work. I'm late to everything except work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it honest. Everything except work. My sister will tell you, I'm late to everything except work.
That's funny.
And
At least he's being honest about it. But
it falls under some procrastination. It does. It does fall under procrastination. But I'm late to everything except work.
I
You know?
am actually. I'm a little. I would speak to
Not
that
too much,
point.
man.
Is that
Not too much.
I'm not the most punctual person, but what I do is I'll slow down my tempo, and then I'll find ways of being able to be punctual for things that I wouldn't usually do to kind of taper out that habit. All right, moving it over to Diesel.
No,
What
I was
question?
here. I couldn't get in the box. I was here.
Are there any life lessons that you wish you knew earlier?
Absolutely not. I just believe that as we grow, we learn from our mistakes and we learn as we grow. So as far as, taking back the past is in the review. Only thing you can do as you grow older and, days and days go by is just keep pushing ahead on what your goals that you're aiming for.
That is awesome. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, so unfortunately, we're halfway into the show, so that means we got to shout out the Tap Gifter on the official Rate the Date name tag. Sorry, Jor, but we have somebody that is at our #1 spot. I think it's the one and only. So we're gonna put the one on the official Rate the Date name tag. Congratulations to you. Can we get a round of applause to the one and only? One
Get in
and
there. Get in there. Get in there.
Get it, Maya. Get it in. Get it in.
okay. That's how I'm gonna spell it. One and only. Congratulations to you. I'll be the you for the rest of the show. And if anybody can beat you, or if not, they'll be featured on the official Rate the Date name tag the next episode. So that's not your only time to make the show, to make the official Rate the Date name tag. You still have till the end of the show. So don't worry, anybody who's trying to throw those gifts. All right, back to you, Miss EXO. What question do you have lined up for Bobby?
What is your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself is my diversity. I could bounce from music to outdoors, sports, theater. I could bounce from a multitude of things in one shot.
Oh, well, that is awesome. Yeah, the being able to be adaptable is a very important thing just in life. It's not survival of the fittest, it's survival of the most adaptable. All right, moving it over to somebody somebody who's also been very adaptable in their own personal life. What question do you have lined up for Diesel?
What was the stupidest reason one of your relationships broke up or ended?
What is one of the stupidest reasons why they broke up?
Yeah.
She said I was too genuine. I was too kind. She wanted them. Yeah, she wanted one of them rough heads, and I wasn't rough. You know what I mean? Because I see my mom get done wrong, as a child, and I always say, I see how to treat women, cherish them, and everything like that. So as far as being who I am, it's always about giving my queen my all and respecting every aspect about her.
Yeah, and sometimes, being that like typical quote unquote bad boy is just a facade and superstitious in the first place. So you probably,
Exactly.
you probably like you dodged a bullet on that one, no pun intended. All right, bringing it over to Bobby. What question do you have lined up for contestant #1?
All right. What qualities do you find attractive in any potential partner?
First and foremost, like notice of self. I want my partner to know who she is before she knows who I am. I want my partner to look in the mirror and see herself as a great being before she could look in the mirror and see us as great beings. Notice of self, like.
Yeah, so you want your partner to be confident, just like you're confident in yourself. Because, well, insecurities that we all have, sometimes they are the thing that ruins a relationship. So that makes sense. It's a different way of looking at it. Bringing it over to Diesel. What question do you have lined up for contestant #2?
If you could learn one skill instantly, what would it be?
Learn one skill instantly. I would probably have to say just how to be the best dad. You know what I mean? Without failure. That would be it.
But something tells me that, like, every child needs a parent that's specific to that exact situation, but definitely showing where your heart's at. And I think that,
Exactly. There's a lot of children out there that don't have their parents. So to be the best without failure, oh, thank you, Queen Holly. To be the best, it takes a lot of work, you know what I mean? But, like I say, there's children out there who don't have a parent. So to be a parent, knowing that there's children that don't have parents, you got to push it. You got to thrive for perfection and excellence every day, every day. Because believe it or not, you might not think they're looking at you or seeing everything, but they're observing and absorbing like a sponge.
I
Exactly.
definitely agree. And as a mother herself, our bachelorette can definitely agree with you. All right, moving over to contestant number 1. What question do you have lined up for?
Do you have kids or do you plan on having kids?
I have a child. She just turned 5, October 18th. And she's the pride of my joy. She lives out of the country right now, but she's moving back this May, so I'm ecstatic.
Well,
She lives in, let me not say out of the country. She lives in Puerto Rico, but she's moving back to the United States. She's moving back to Jersey in May, so I'm ecstatic and I can't wait to see everything. She left when she was 3, and she's coming back as 5 years old. So I cannot wait to have my baby back in my arms.
wow, that is
Not a flight away,
Yeah, I'm sure you're super excited about that. So congratulations to you, Bobby, for getting your daughter back. All right, moving back over to contestant number 2. What question do you have lined up for him?
Do you like trying new things or are you someone that likes to stick to the familiar things?
Life is all about experimenting and learning. I'm always down to try new things.
That's awesome. What about you, EXO?
I like trying new things. I'm a foodie, so I like to go to different places and try different types of food. I'm very passionate about food because I love cooking. So anything I can learn or adapt to making at home, I'm all about it.
Yeah, I just tried Ethiopian food not too long ago, and the entire meal came wrapped in a piece of injera bread. It was like the biggest tamale I've ever seen. And like,
Did you eat it with your hands? You ate it with your hands?
Yeah, man. I'm of Latin descent, so a tortilla was my fork and spoon. All right, so moving it back over to EXO. What question do you have lined up for contestant number 1?
Okay, that one was blank. It didn't have a question beside it that you gave me.
Okay.
So I guess I'll ask one.
Yeah, go for it.
What is something that you're most passionate that you would want to teach your daughter growing up as a child into adulthood?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Something I'm most passionate about teaching my daughter. I want to teach my daughter how to be. I want to teach my daughter how to demand how to be treated in this world. As a young lady, as a grown lady, an old lady, demand respect at all times. I want to teach my daughter. I want to show my daughter I'm good enough that you want your man or your future husband to be like your father.
Well, that is awesome, especially this day and age with the OFs and the Instagram models of our generation that kind of throw it all out there.
make them work for it, right? Make them work for it a little bit,
All right, moving it back over to Diesel. What question do you have lined up for him?
All right, so I know you have sons, but I know they're kids too. So you probably watch these. What is your favorite Disney movie?
What is my favorite Disney movie? Probably Aladdin, Jungle Book, you know what I mean? They've been on those hard here lately, and they can't get enough of any of that right now. I'm just, Dad, can we just watched this last night. We want to watch it again. We fell asleep.
Every night.
How many days we got to watch this show? How many times you going to fall asleep? This is the 3rd day. Like, come on, man. And then they want you to start it over from the beginning. Like, did you fall asleep at the beginning? But yeah, no, we love Aladdin and Jungle Book. Those are just playbacks.
Yeah, well, hopefully
we're about to start just reciting it by the sound and just mute the TV and just say the words because I know the words by now.
I can show you the world. Well, hopefully we can find you a boo on today's episode. I hate to lie. All right, moving back over to
I
Bobby.
like where he did that.
What question do you have lined up for Bobby?
What is something that annoys you more than anything else?
Something that annoys me more than anything else. There's certain words that women use that I don't like to hear.
Like what?
I don't know if I could say it on a feature show.
Yeah, we'll save it for the after show.
Right.
But like
the word when a woman says C-U-N-T, I can't stand it.
Yeah, me either.
I can't stand it. That's an automatic no.
Yeah, I would say that I came on the app and saw some very beautiful women, and then when I would word
open their mouths.
Yeah, whenever they would get aggressive, things would come out that I wish didn't come out. Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but use.
No, we're not gonna do that, but it's not desirable at all. I can't stand it. You know. Right.
Well, something tells me that you wouldn't have to worry about that with Mama. All right, moving back over to contestant number 2. What question do you have lined up for her?
What's the most daring thing that you've done on a first date in the past?
Can you repeat that one more time?
Yeah. What is the most daring thing that you've done on a first date in the past?
The most daring thing. I don't know. I'm kind of spontaneous, so I really don't, take too much as daring. Life is fun. You only live once. Enjoy it while it's here, because you never know if, good book read that, states that no day is promised a man. So you don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow or anything. So, whatever comes about, go for it. You know what I mean? Don't hold back. So as far as anything being daring, it's just life to me.
Yeah, and the man did put his life on the line to defend our honor. So there's something to be said with that in itself. All right, moving back over to contestant number 1. What question do you have lined over for Bobby?
What is something you've always wanted to do but that you were too afraid to do?
Something I always wanted to do that I was too afraid to do. That's a good one. I conquered a lot of my bucket list. For being 35 years old, I conquered. One thing that I'm afraid to do right now, honestly,
like me, I've never gone skydiving. I don't know if I'm scared of it. The opportunity hasn't presented itself yet.
It's fun.
Right. I've been skydiving. I went skydiving for my 19th birthday.
Whoa.
And that was more. That's not it. Like, I think more deep sea diving would more deep sea diving, because the jaws. That's the one thing that I haven't done yet, that I would be panicking every second of the minute under there, bro. Going deep sea diving, yeah, that's the thing right there that scares me the most. I don't want to die in water.
That's funny.
I don't want to die by drowning. That's the only thing I don't want to die by. So it kind of makes sense. I don't, deep sea diving.
Well, fair enough. All right, moving it over to Diesel. What question do you have lined up for him?
Which cheesy pickup line is your favorite?
Baby Shark.
Oh man. Oh man, my cheesiest pickup line that I've heard or that I've said.
That you've said, or just something that's your go-to that you might use to get a girl's attention.
Oh man, the cheesiest. Oh snaps. Wow, that's funny you say that. I know so many. I think one of the funniest ones though is just the whole can you spell me? And they be like, and me. You be like, nope. They're like, what's wrong? You forgot the D. They be like, there's no D in me. Like, not yet.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I can make you laugh, man. I'm telling you. I used to do this in San Antonio, Texas, while I was stationed at Fort Sam Houston, down there in the medical field. You do some little comedy skits down there at a little stand-up comedy club on Thursday nights. We used to tell jokes and all that all the time.
Well, that's awesome. That definitely made the Bachelorette laugh. That's for sure. All right, moving it back over to contestant number 1. What question do you have lined up for Bobby?
How would you describe yourself in one word?
In one word, if I had to describe myself in one word, extraordinary. Just extraordinary.
What makes you extraordinary, Bobby? Aside from the things that we've already heard.
What doesn't make me extraordinary, man? A day in the life of my daily life. Listen, bro, I get into 3 different things in one day, right? They got something to do with water, land, and vehicles for a living.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah, true. Hopefully not too deep in the water because that phobia that you have there. But
no, it's with boats.
Yeah. Okay, so above the water, not to where you're over there
above surface, yes.
One of them great whites, that baby shark. All right. Before we get into our question for Diesel, let me just plug you guys into what you're tuning into. So we have our Bachelorette, XOXO Mama, and then we have these 2 contestants that are competing to win a virtual date with said Bachelorette. We're on the end of the 2nd round, so we got a couple more questions lined up for the gentleman, and then she's going to make her pick. Her and that person are going to get to know each other off of the platform. They tune back in next Friday at 11 p.m. and they give us an update. All right, back over to you for your question for Diesel. Our Bachelorette got the question lined up.
Yeah, it shows that it says the last question, but are you open to long distance relationships?
I've had them before. You know, that all falls under the whole trusting issue. You know, I always tell people, you know, back in the day, I might have started out relationships with trust, you know, but it's just something that's earned, not given. You know what I mean? So as long as I don't have a reason not to trust you, you know, why not?
That's awesome. And definitely had that like answer ready and locked and loaded at the hip, no pun intended. All right. I got one more question for the guys to end it on a high note, but making it a little bit more difficult for them. All right, Bobby, my question for you would be, what would your ex-girlfriend say is the quality that she least liked about you? Moving away from that awesomeness, what is the quality that she said
my tardiness, my punctuality, unfortunately.
Well, fair enough. I think we heard that earlier in the show, but for y'all guys that don't know, yeah, Bobby was even late to the show today, but he's at least aware of his greatest weakness. All right. And what about you, Diesel? Other than the fact that, you know, you might not be as daring as that one woman wanted you to be. She said you were more on the nice guy side. What would your ex say is the quality that she least liked about you?
Quality she said that she least liked about me. She said that I was really flirtatious and she didn't like that, but I'm just a social butterfly. You know what I mean? I just know how to socialize and get along with everybody. No point intended, though. You know, if I'm with you, though, I'm with you. Like, you're my queen. There's a fine line between respect and disrespect. I know my boundaries not to cross over that line.
Yeah, she's like, Diesel has this one alphabetical thing that he does there that I don't quite like. That he tells me. All right, unfortunately, that concludes our 2nd round, but big props over to our Bachelorette and our contestants. Can we just give them a round of applause? You guys are watching Rate the Date. I'm your lovely host, Dorian Gray. We got the beautiful Bachelorette. She's about to make her final decision. But chat, who do you think she should pick? We have Bobby. Bobby has a daughter that is going to be moving soon from Puerto Rico over to where he's at. Bobby, you're in the East Coast?
Yeah. New York.
He also says his punctuality is not the best, but he is very he's very adaptable. He says, you know, even what he does on a daily basis is he's moving all over the place. He said he's an amazing guy, and he gave us the list of some of the things that he likes and doesn't like in a partner. Then you got Diesel. Diesel has served in the military. He is a nice guy. He also is a father, and I think throughout the show he mentioned how important that was for him of being a mentor for his children and how he can be a better one is always something that's on his mind. Okay, so without further ado, unfortunately, you can't have them both. Who is going to be today's pick? Can I get a drum roll today? XO. Who's going to be today's winner?
It's gonna be Diesel.
Diesel, congratulations, my friend. You are today's winner. Bobby, sorry, unfortunately, you weren't picked, but we would love to have you back. Bobby, you want to plug anything before you leave?
Thank you for having me. I appreciate your time. You know that. You can't be the man who fought for our country. You heard?
Hey, now, that's a good
I
way.
appreciate that. I definitely favored you too, Bobby.
Well, definitely congratulations over to Diesel. You are today's winner. You will be featured on the official Rate the Date Instagram, but also you get the grand prize of getting to know the lovely Bachelorette a little bit more. I'm going to create a group chat for you guys, and I'm going to tell you all the expectations. All it really means is just get to know each other, whether it's a better off as friends or something a little bit more. All that I ask is you tune back in next Friday at 11 p.m. and give us a bit of an update. Is that a deal?
Yep.
That's a deal.
All right, Diesel, did you have fun on today's show?
Yeah, this was crazy. This was great. This was fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, Diesel, okay, so do you want to plug anything before you go? Got anything going on the app?
Oh man, so I have a appreciation party tomorrow at 7 o'clock Eastern time, 6 o'clock Central, for two families that I'm kind of connected with through the app, just basically, just giving back and just vibing out with me. So if y'all want to come hang out, listen to some music, have a good time, see me there. I'm in an auction March 17th at 8:45 Eastern time. So, there's a lot going on. You just want to come hang out, chill, vibe. I do stream pretty much all day, even while I'm working. So, the stream is about uplifting and making people feel like there's something. My motto is everybody is somebody. So definitely come by and hang out with us and, just have fun.
That is awesome. Make sure you guys tune in. And what about you, XO? Congratulations for being on the show, and hopefully it works out with you. Do you want to plug anything?
I just want to say first, one of the reasons why I chose Diesel was because I, as a mother, cannot fashion to have someone late. I have a lot of doctor's appointments for my kids that I have to, so it's very important to me. Punctuality is very important to me. So I hope he works on that for the next person. But yeah. Yes, so I have my first auction that I'm hosting myself. It's March the 23rd. It's a St. Patrick's Day auction. I still have 5 spots open if anybody's looking to get into an auction. I also have a Shoot Your Shot event that I do once a month, and it's on April the 18th. And it's where 3 contestants pop up in my box randomly trying to shoot their shot at the contestant that's in the box. And they go on a virtual date and we see how it goes. I have a Hot Mamas auction that I'm in for Mother's Day on May the 10th. And then I also am in my first battle called Smoke That Goofy. It's from April the 12th to the 15th. And I stream most of the time 7 days a week, usually after 7 p.m. just because I have kids. So I try to get them to bed before I stream. And then Saturday nights, we have pajamas and game night in my stream. All my UW family comes in. We hang out. People come and hang out in the comments or in the box, and we have a good time.
Well, that is awesome. Definitely was a pleasure. I hope you had fun on today's show. You guys get out of here. Y'all got some catching up to do for sure. All right, definitely, guys. Thank you so much. And like I said, everybody who was on the show today streams and has their own stream, so make sure to hit them with a favorite. And let me just get to a couple of plug a couple of things that we have going along with the top gifters we had. What's going on? What's going on, lovely Britt?
Hi, Dorian.
You have any news?
told that it was going to end at 10:30. That sucker did not end until 11:15. So I'm sorry about that.
It's
But
perfectly
it,
fine. Just glad you're here.
do you want me to give the update about McBonus? Because he
Yeah,
kind
go
of said
for it. So on our last show, I will say we had McBonus, and he chose who was the lovely lady that he chose?
he chose Jubilee.
Jubilee. He sure did. All right. So they got to know each other for 7 days. What's the update on them?
So according to both of them, they knew each other prior to the show. They've been friends for a while. They tried it. They just said that they just decided to just be friends. So if anything, it made their connection a little stronger as friends, and that's all that matters.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't always work out. But definitely, we would love to have them back on the show if they want to try their shot again at love. Let me just plug our top gifters from our last episode, and big shout out to the one and only for making it on today's show on as our top gifter. I think she's still featured up there. Did somebody beat her
Mhm.
out? She's still up there. All right, at the number one spot for our last episode, we had Jor, or is that? I think it's Jor. And at the number two
Yes.
spot, we had hers truly, Brit, at our number two spot. We had Free Soul 76 at the number three spot. We had yours truly, Josh, at our number four spot, and we had Blessings at the number five spot. So can we just give them a big old round of applause for being our top five gifters? And we will give a big shout out at the end of this show, the top five gifters on today's show. And it looks like you're going to be in that running, Brit. Also, a big shout out to Chris Casper. He's my boss on here. He has a show called Suited Up with Chris. That's every Wednesdays at 9 p.m. where he will run you through the ins and outs of what's going on in the stream, the latest updates on just, he's kind of like the Jay Leno of the app. And he also will have interview people that are new or people that you've seen to known to love and have, been a part of their stream. So stay tuned for Suited Up with Chris. That's every Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Britt, any more info for us today?
So this was our last episode before our season finale. So in about 2 weeks' time, depending on what Dorian decides, we'll be doing our season finale for season 3. And we are really, really excited. So make sure you follow Dorian on IG. But that does not mean that we are not booking for the next season. We are still going to be looking for contestants and bachelors and bachelorettes for the next season. So if you're interested in being on the show, please hit me or Emoji J up or even Dorian, and he can get you in contact with me, and we can get you on the show and see if we can find you a love.
And the thing about that is for the season finale, it's going to be all live. We got the Bachelor live. We got the 3 contestants live. We're going to have a live studio audience. It is going to be one of a kind. We might even have a special guest. We might have an exotic animal. On our last season finale, we had a boa constrictor come on. It's just all types of fun things that happen. And like I said, live studio audience. Chat, you're going to be there, but we're going to have a live studio audience that I'm going to be interacting with. This is either going to be at a comedy store, this is going to be at a bar or a large venue or something. I have all types of crazy things in the work. So definitely make sure this is the highlight, not only of my show, but on the app. It's going to be the best thing that is going to be going on. I promise you, on Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. You do not want to miss this. And speaking of season 5, which she was talking about, season 5, we have a very special person that's going to be our bachelor. It's yours truly. They've been asking for it. So season 5, your one and only is going to be the bachelor. And so we're going to do a 4-part episode where we're going to have 3 shows where it's just running through 3 contestants, narrowing it down to 3. And for the 4th episode, we narrow it down to 1. So if you ladies want to get booked on that one, if you guys been asking, hey, when are we going to get a chance to be a contestant for Dorian? Season 5 is where it's going to happen. And who knows, maybe we'll do all of those live, and we'll, I'll give y'all an insight. I'll let y'all watch our first date all happen. I'll have y'all muted, but y'all get to see the ins and outs of that date. So definitely, what's the age range? That's a good question. I think the age range, I do like them a little older, but I think I can go I think I can go as low as 27, and I on a cap on 27 all the way up to like maybe 55. My ex-girlfriend was 48, so I do like maturity looks good on a woman. But yeah, that's it. We got some things. Stay tuned. Make sure to favorite me. I don't always say that a lot, but make sure to hit me with that favorite. Thank you for everybody. Appreciate y'all. Queen Tigers being the one. Jim, thank you. I saw your request in the box, but fortunately, we don't usually have guests in the box while the show's going on. And thank you, Britt. Always, it's a pleasure having you. And yeah,
Thank you. It was a
appreciate
great show. Congrats, Exo Mama. I'll make the chat and I'll add you to it, and then I'll leave and let you do your thing. So,
All
but
right.
have a good night, y'all.
Until next time. Yeah, sleep tight for sure. Thank y'all.